Hi everyone, I'm Matty O'Boyle with Realear.com, and we got a really cool screencast for you right now. Are you ready to start working with notes that are right next to each other? Are you ready to do that kind of ear training? If you've consolidated your bases and you've laid a good foundation, and you're at that kind of intermediate level to start working with notes that are right next to each other, this is the screencast for you. So those notes that are right next to each other are called chromatic notes. And to break into working with chromatic notes, I recommend using the Arpeggio Ear Training web app. What we're going to do with the web app is we would turn the metronome way down because it's a new variable and we want it to be slow so we have more time to process the new information. You probably want it around 5. I'm going to leave it around 20 for the screencast so we can just hear more examples in the same amount of time. Okay, then of course you got to adjust your volume for your own computer. And let's get into it. What we're going to do, the strategy here is to use two chord forms of the same chord, and that's key, of the same chord. Okay, so what we're going to do to start is we're going to go to a major 7th chord, and we're going to add another chord. In this case, it's going to be a C. I'm just using the default C, but it could be a G and a G, and E flat and E flat, whatever you want. But we're going to use the major 7th and the 7th chord, or the minor 7th, depending on how you want to call it. Okay, so now the arpeggio we hear is going to be, if it chooses one or the other, the notes are always going to be the same, except for in the major 7th chord, we're going to have a B. And in the minor 7th chord, we're going to have a B flat. So the difference between those two chords is a chromatic difference. And this is really going to help your ear begin to distinguish that small space between the notes. And it's also good for your instrument, whatever instrument you're playing, or if you're singing, just to be able to nail that. So let's just take a listen. Okay, did you hear that difference? I hope so. If not, you can slow the metronome down even more. And if you still can't perceive it, you're going to have to just work on it. How do you do that? Well, you put down your instrument and you just concentrate. Did I hear a major 7th? Did I hear a minor 7th? And listen for that one tone that's different. And you can use your visual feedback when a chord is selected, it lights up. So you know which chord is selected. And you'll get it. It just takes a little bit of determination sometimes. So that's what you want to do. You want to use the same chord in two different forms. So once you've actually kind of cycled through the major 7th and the 7th chord, and you've increased the metronome, and you just have gotten up to speed with it, and you've done all the up patterns, then you do the down patterns. Then what you can do is you can do the up and down patterns together, and that's cool. And then you cycle through the other pairs in the same way. When you want to continue to work on chromaticism, the next step that I would do is I would leave my 7th chord here, and I would change this to a 6th chord. So now, my 7th chord, if you remember the chromatic note difference between these two chords, this one is going to be a B flat, and this one's going to be an A. So it's an A in the 6th chord. And again, just work through your cycles of your ear training on that. And that will help you distinguish those two chromatic differences. Then, if you want to continue, you could actually use a major chord and a minor chord. And the difference between that would be an E, in this case of C, would be an E and an E flat. Okay, so that's how you break into chromaticism. You work on it in the Arpeggio app until it becomes automatic that you just hear those differoences and you feel those differences and you play them. Then you can move on over to the Melody app and start working on melodic dictations that have chromaticism as well. All right, good luck with that.